Yo, let's talk about the Pisces New Moon on February 27th. Pisces is the energy of the dreamer, the visionary, the person who uses their creative imagination to create new realities and paint on the canvas of life. We're going to be creating new beginnings because the new moon is planting a new seed to manifest your new reality or a new state of being. And there's going to be lots of planets taking part in this energy, this cosmic dance that we call life in the Pisces new moon. Jupiter is heavily involved. Think about each and every planet as a character that is taking part in the movie of the Pisces new moon. Jupiter is the energy of the wise guide that we seek out to explore, to expand, to find abundance, to become more than we are, to seek out meaning in life. Because Jupiter is in Gemini, we're going to be doing that through the mind and through communication. But Mercury is in Pisces, which is in a zodiac sign that it technically and traditionally doesn't like being in. And what I've noticed about Mercury in Pisces is Mercury in Pisces has the tendency to lie. And when it's connected with Jupiter, then it has the tendency to lie through over-exaggeration. Now, there are two ways that we can consider lying when we talk about Mercury in Pisces. Because Pisces is the energy of the dreamer, the manifester, the energy of the imagination, the energy of act as if or fake it till you make it, then this can be one of the energies of how that lie comes up. Now, if you're solely choosing selective delusion by choosing to only speak about the reality that you desire to experience, only choosing to speak your new reality into existence, speak your new identity into existence, and speak what you're manifesting into reality, then that's a different thing. But Mercury in Pisces can also create illusions with the words to manipulate and to confuse. So that's more of the detrimental and negative side of it, or more of the insidious side of Mercury in Pisces. But with Jupiter being in Gemini, square or in a tense relationship with the Pisces new moon, this can actually bring forth a really positive energy, because the square or the tense connections between planets are not always a bad thing. Think about seduction and sexuality. Like, when we have sexual tension is also tension, so it creates that internal tension to act. When we have internal frustration, it's not always a bad thing, because we feel that sense of frustration, but that frustration pushes us to act. It motivates us to create a new reality. It motivates us to change. So Jupiter right now is causing some internal frustration because it's motivating us and inspiring us internally. And I say inspiring because Pisces is an energy of inspiring. It's a water energy, which is internal, in. So it's inspiring you to move forward and create that new reality. But it's inspiring you to go bigger, because Jupiter is about going bigger, going hard or going home. It's about expansion. So how can we begin to start expanding in this energy? Well, with Jupiter being in Gemini, then we may want to, for example, on social media, we may want to focus on creating lots more content, lots more inspiring content or creative content, or we want to start talking more about our visions, our reality. We may be inspired to start studying a lot more about God, about the universe, about spirituality, because we want to understand higher realities and we want to expand our wisdom, or expand the things that we have to talk about, expand our intellect. With Gemini is all about options. So this Pisces new moon is going to inspire you or push you or motivate you to expand your options, because you may be internally frustrated that you feel as though you have limited options or pathways to create your new reality. Or sometimes Pisces actually makes things foggy and cloudy in terms of your pathway to expansion. So you may actually have more options than you realize, but either you're deluding yourself to kind of close your eyes off to the options that you already have, or you can't really find the options. So Jupiter is actually inspiring you to go out and explore, to go out and expand and go and seek out these new opportunities. So look at where Gemini is in your birth chart, because that's really going to help you to find out where you can explore and expand and find new opportunities where it seemed like there was none. And especially intellectually as well, thinking about these new ideas. Don't get too stuck in your mind, though, because that can also be a conflict as well, and you start overthinking. Where Jupiter is always like over something, like over exaggerating, overindulgence, overthinking, overdoing. So just be aware of that, but also realize that sometimes you might have to overdo it to expand. So just overdo the good things, like putting out your knowledge, your wisdom, your intellect, your ideas, your vision, instead of overdoing the bad things like cake and escapism and drugs and alcohol, and these are like kind of Pisces ways of escapism, you know what I'm saying, trying to run away from life and run away from reality. Mars is also going to be a big part of the Pisces moon dance during this energy. Mars is the warrior, it's the energy of courage, where we are looking to fight against our obstacles, or we're looking to overcome challenges. So Mars in Cancer wants to use that fighting energy intuitively, but it's also going to want to fight to protect what we have, fight to protect our comfort zone, fight to protect what we are nurturing, what we're feeding into. So you might be feeding into your family, I would hope. You might be feeding into a new business. You might be feeding into yourself. You might be fighting to protect your rest and your self-care. But also, it's going to be an energy where you're fighting against your desire to stay inside of your comfort zone. Because with Venus being in Aries right now, Venus is in a zodiac sign that it doesn't like being in. Venus is, yes, it's about relationships, but it's also about money and finances, which shows that with it being in a zodiac sign it doesn't like being in, it's actually going to fuck up the economy and put a lot of people in survival mode, which means you might be fighting to protect the little money that you have left to pay your bills and to feed your family. And this is also the energy of why Jupiter is going to help in terms of that internal motivation and inspiration to be bigger, to be better, to expand your operations, to go bigger, to go harder. Because that expansion is actually going to be what is helping you to fight to protect what you have by going out and getting more. You cannot listen to the energy of the part of Cancer that encourages us to shrink and stay small and to just focus on protecting what we have. Yes, we have to protect what we have, but sometimes the best way to protect what we have is to go out and get fucking more. You know, so you understand what I'm saying? Because then we've always got enough to feed the crops. Think about Cancer as like the watering can that waters the flowers. Like the best way to protect the garden and to protect the crops is to go out and get more water and make sure that the crops and the plants are fed and nourished. So make sure that you're constantly taking action to nourish and nurture what it is that you're building during this time and during this Pisces new moon. We shouldn't really feel too much emotional conflict during this energy because Mars is actually in a harmonious connection with the Pisces new moon. So all of that inspiration that we feel during this time, and Mars is no longer retrograde during the Pisces new moon. So we actually feel that internal inspiration and we're actually ready to take action, ready to jump outside of our comfort zone, and we're ready to instantly act on our intuition. It feels a lot easier to act on our intuition and move outside of our comfort zone from the Pisces new moon onwards. But Mars is in square with Venus, which means that, like we said, with those the financial struggle that people may be realizing, we may need some financial support or some relational support in the energy, because Cancer is the energy of support. Venus is money and finances. We may need some support in this area to really begin to keep on taking action and keep on fighting towards our goals. So with Venus being cooperation and Aries being the competitive drive to win, then we may need to find people who we can cooperate with, people who we can align with, people who we can form a bond with, form a team with, form a relationship with, who are in alignment with our values and want to fight towards the same goal. That's going to be a great energy of the support that's going to help us to act in alignment and that's going to help us to win. You know what I'm saying? Let me just get my words out. Now, with the Pisces new moon being all about division and connecting with this Jupiter energy of wanting to spread the word, if you like, then it's going to be much easier for you to get people on your team to support you and fight in alignment with your vision if you are constantly and actively spreading your word and spreading your vision, if you're constantly talking about it. And yes, you do have to go big in terms of communicating your vision. You have to speak about the vision in the way that you see it, not in the way that it currently exists in reality. Let me say that again. You have to speak about your vision in the way that you see it internally, not in the way that it currently exists in reality. And that's where we can consider the Mercury in Pisces lying, if you want to call it that, because you're speaking about the vision as you currently see it in your mind, which is as it will actually manifest. So what it is, you're not even necessarily lying. If you want to twist our words, you're preparing people for what is to come. You're preparing people for the prophecy that you are here to bring through to reality, or for the prophecy that is here to be brought through you, whichever way you want to see it. And Saturn and Mercury is also in a sextile with Uranus. So there's also going to be opportunities right now to change the foundations in the way that we're structuring things. There's going to be opportunities to change the rules to the game in the way that we're manifesting, in the way that we're applying our creativity, in the way that it can be used. Now, Saturn is also all about how we can physically use something. So it's no good just speaking about like these Pisces spiritual concepts that don't really have no grounding and use. Anything, if you're talking about spirituality, if you're talking about your vision, if you're talking about something creative, make sure it's in a way that people can practically use it in their real, everyday, physical reality. Otherwise, it's not going to be taken on, it's not going to be used, it's not going to be relevant. And especially in the way that Uranus, when it's connected with Uranus, Uranus is all about change and revolution and upgrading. So make sure that you're allowing yourself to be authentic. And if you see opportunities to do things differently, then don't be afraid to lean into that. Lean into doing things differently. Don't be afraid to lean into controversy in a certain way. But there's two versions of controversy. There's the controversy in terms of you're just doing shit just to be controversial, just to be a troll. Or there's the controversy in terms of the fact of you have seen something different, seen something unique, seen a new angle of reality and a new way of creating, a new way of building with the energy of Uranus being in Taurus that you think nobody else has seen, and now you're speaking on that angle, now you're acting through that angle. And just the last thing as well I want to mention before you subscribe, hit the like button, comment and share this video to everybody. I want to make sure that you focus on realizing that Pisces, being a visionary, being a dreamer, being a believer, is not just talking about it, it's being about it. Because the way that you really show that you believe in something, the way that you really show that you're a visionary, the way that you really show that you are a dreamer and a person who is here to bring the prophecy through, is by acting on inspiration, is by acting on your dreams and your visions. A lot of people just say, yeah, I'm a dreamer, I'm a visionary, and they just talk, chat, but they're not actually being about that energy. So realize that your true faith is shown through action.